going to edit that out. We're probably not because he's crazy, but Mom and Dad,
let's go,
don't
Beyonce.
listen to this. I don't want our
adding
parents
that
to
to the
this.
playlist.
What's up, real ones? Welcome back to the Real Relationship Podcast, where we're bringing the real back to relationships.
Yes, sir.
I'm Asha Steele.
I'm Devin Steele.
And we're so excited, clearly,
so
to be
excited.
back.
So excited to finally be back, y'all.
Yes.
I know y'all missed us. We missed y'all too.
Absolutely.
We be getting y'all messages on Instagram. Y'all be in our comments on our live like, yo, where's the episode?
Podcast?
Where the podcast at?
What's
I
up with
need
the
something to
podcast?
listen to when I'm driving in my car.
Yes.
Well, we back.
Yes, we're back, you guys. And
Matter of fact, we so excited that we back. I think it's only right.
Here you go. What?
Why are you laughing?
Because I don't know what you about to say.
I'm not about to say anything, but I'm just saying, I think it's only right that we celebrate being back, that we welcome ourselves to being back. I just feel like we got to start it off the right way.
Okay.
You ready to start? You have no idea where I'm going with this.
I have no idea.
Let's start it off then. I like that. Surprises.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
Harlem Shaky.
Welcome back.
Hey,
man, how you doing? You good?
I know you like that. Hey, I know you like that.
How long you been back, man?
We about to like how this thing whole
See
song.
the girls in the club, they getting wild for me. And all the pretty chicks all wanna smile at me. These rap cats, man, they all got a style for me. And if I ever see them, man, they probably bow to me. And when this beat drop, I know they gon' lean. World debut,
Go
I
ahead, hit
know
the
they
little bow
gon'
wow
fiend.
shake.
Everything Mississippi to the Palm Springs. Girls from brunettes down to blonde queens.
We
These
gonna
young
let
boys
this
don't know
thing
what
play
a
to
dawn
the
means.
chorus.
I'm just
Okay.
a bad boy, gone clean. I'm the diamond chain choker, always remain sober. Don't drink liquor and all the game's over. Need a plane, I explained it to my broker.
We ain't gonna get no ads on this podcast.
More man, where that come
We
from?
about to
But they
get
gonna be
copyrighted,
jamming, okay?
but it don't matter.
See the
Names
has
haven't
a-
changed since
I've been around.
But the game
Ain't the same since we left out.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh, you know we need you. Ooh, you know we need you.
Where?
Here's where we need you.
Where?
Here's where we
Come on.
need you.
Hey.
The real is
You know you
back.
like that.
We are back. I know you like that.
Hey. Hey.
You know you like that.
Okay.
You know
Y'all
you
get
like
the message yet?
Yeah, they got the
No, hold on. We got a little bit. Yeah, we
You
back.
know you like that.
Okay,
You
y'all.
know you like
He
that.
got the vibe
Welcome
going.
back.
Okay, well,
We back.
I see you. Welcome back, you guys.
We back. We back. And we ain't going no time soon.
Okay,
So I
yes.
hope y'all ready to really jump into this. The new year's coming up. I'm hot. I want to turn on the
You just
fan,
did a
but
whole
I just did a lot.
I said a whole outfit. You just did a
A
whole
whole album.
performance.
I did a whole album. All right.
Clearly.
I want to turn on the fan, but I don't want to mess up the audio. But your boy is sweaty, but I'm excited because
Yes.
we back. So I
Yes.
hope y'all ready. The new year's coming up. We
Yes.
know a lot of y'all have New Year's resolutions. Hopefully a lot of them are to improve your relationships. And we just want y'all to know we back and we going to be here to support y'all through it all. We're going to
Yes.
grow together. We're going to
Yes.
grind together. We're going to love together.
Yes.
Pause.
Oh my goodness. But yes, we are back, you guys, and just in time for the holidays. You know, this is the holiday season that we're just coming up on. It got here so fast. I don't know where the time went, but the year is coming to a close, unfortunately.
It always
very
be
soon.
like that, don't it?
Yes, so we just gonna rock out these next couple weeks with you guys. You know, we got some things in store for the new year. I'm excited for the new year, but we was just, even what you're saying, just with the new year approaching, we was talking about that the other day, just like how, you know, so many people talk about new year, new me, new opportunities, new goals, new relationships. And we was talking about how the new can start now, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's so important for, you know, us to just get that mindset of we don't have to wait until the new year to start on this new journey, to be this new, better version of ourselves. We can improve every day. We can start today. Today could be the new day for you to turn something around. So I just want us to know that if you looking for the new year to change, because a lot of times we go in like, oh, it's a new year. We get that first couple weeks in. And soon as that third, fourth week of January come around, we like back to the same old, same old. So if you really want to start something new, how about we change it up this year and start the new goals and new me and all of that stuff before we get into the new year. So when that new year comes, you already that new improved version of yourself. You're going to just keep writing out.
So listen, since you just talked about changing things up a little bit, how about we change the subject of this podcast?
Yo, he's just going to try to throw a wrench in.
I'm throwing a wrench in there because you just inspired me.
Okay.
So it's like, all right, so we was going to talk about something we talked on our live about a couple of weeks ago about respectfully cheating. But I'm in such a good mood. I don't even want to talk about that blasphemy. Like, I want to talk about something inspired. I want to talk about something uplifting. As we talk about getting into the new year, let's talk about shifting the mindset, whether we're shifting the mindset as an individual or we're shifting the mindset as a collective, as a couple, as a marriage. That's the direction I want to go into this podcast, because I know a lot of people have been waiting for this, and I don't want to give y'all some heavy stuff. Asha just talked about it's holiday season, and people be in their feelings during the holidays for a number of reasons, and I don't want to put something else on y'all during the holiday season, something as heavy as talking about cheating, because it may bring up it may be a trigger for a lot of people. So that's what I want to spend this episode on. But before we jump into just talking about the ways that we're going to be making the shift in our relationship and in our marriage and in our personal lives, I want to clap it up real quick. You don't even know what I'm clapping up for, but I'm gonna clap it up real quick.
What we clapping for?
Because my wife, my baby, my heart, my co-host is a certified life coach.
Okay.
Clap it up.
Okay.
See, that didn't happen on our last episode. This has happened during our hiatus. Asha has got her certificate, certification in being a life coach. So just know that we putting in that work in order to give y'all the valuable insight in order to grow individually and as couples.
Absolutely.
So I just wanted to clap one more time.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Yes.
It's big. How does it feel? How does it feel that we set out on a mission to start this podcast to really help people understand what true love is, how to build strong relationships and marriages, and like you are taking those steps in order to really grow individually. We didn't even touch on the work that you're doing on your own, but as far as understanding how to better mentor and help people who are trying to get better, how does that feel to see like you are crossing things off your bucket list?
Honestly, it feels amazing. I feel like it was a journey that I was kind of hesitant on, in a sense. We talked about it for quite some time. I kind of, procrastinated a little while, really trying to figure out if it was the right thing for me to do. But after, us discussing it and having your support and your blessing and just giving me that push and just really being able to sit down and just look at my overall vision that I have for my life and what we're doing, it feels good to actually complete that and to be able to say, okay, I went through this course. I have a better understanding of how I can apply these resources and the things that I learned to other individuals and help them out. So it feels amazing. I just think it's just the beginning and just the very start of this journey. The resources and learning lessons and tools and education that I'll have. But it feels amazing just to be able to have and to be able to share with everyone out there, all you guys that we talk to now, all the people that we'll talk to in the future. It just feels awesome. I'm excited.
Yeah, and I think it's just so important because it shows that we take this responsibility serious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like people are in a sense putting a part of their lives in our hands. And we don't take that for granted. Like we take that stuff serious. So we go out there and we continuously educate ourselves. So we're not like, some of those people that just be out there talking, trying to help people fall in love with them instead of the information.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing, right? Because I have always been a person, even when I was back, if y'all know me from back doing, hair, I have always been that person that I want to have a certain amount of credentials. Like I want to have that stamp to say, you know what, I'm doing this. And a lot of times within, like before within that community and that industry that I was in, my professors and other instructors would tell me like, fake it till you make it, right? And it's like, okay, it's good to have that mindset to be like, you know what, I'm going to do this. But a lot of people are just faking it, right?
Yeah.
Even if you think they're making it, they faking it the whole way. And it's like, I told myself I didn't want to live that lifestyle. I didn't want to be someone that's out here, selling something to you guys that I'm not invested in myself. I'm not learning. I'm not growing. I'm just selling y'all hopes and dreams and living something completely different. I want to sit up here and be able to say, you know what, I actually took this serious. I have the credentials to prove it. I have the resource and the backing and the knowledge to prove it, just like my husband with him and his master program now. Like, we're actually putting in that work to say, you know what, this is something that we take serious. It's not just something that we just posting up on Instagram, posting up on social media for the podcast just to throw out there and, if it's a game. This is something very serious. Relationships are very serious. The people that we talk to are our clients. It's very serious. It's heavy topics. It's serious topics. It's life-changing topics, And so I think just being able to say, you know what, this isn't just a little gig in a sense. This is real life. This is our life. This is our career. This is our profession. This is our passion. And I'm going to take it serious, and that's what we're doing. And I'm proud of us, honestly. Even with you and all that you're doing, like you guys, we've been going, but we've been so busy just trying to do the groundwork behind scenes so that when we are coming out full throttle, y'all gonna be like, well, dang.
I see why they's in hibernation.
Okay?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And even with you just putting in the work with schooling.
And it's work.
And it is work. But can I tell y'all, my husband has been knocking out A's on papers
Go
back
ahead, girl.
to back
Go
to
ahead,
back
go
to
ahead,
back
go
to
ahead.
back
Talk
to back
about
to
it.
back, like nonstop. I'm like, okay. And he has been like, I feel like he don't give himself enough credit because he'll sit up there and do the work and be like, oh, I hope I get an A or I hope I get a good grade. And he's been killing it. Killing
Murder.
it, okay?
187
Killing
on
it.
them, But I have to give a lot of credit to you that I'm able to go out here and kill it. Because I was gonna make a Instagram video about this later on, but I'll touch on it briefly because I know a lot of y'all who follow this podcast probably don't follow my personal page. If you don't, still in the game, go follow it right now. I don't even know what you're waiting for.
Okay.
Yeah, but when I first decided to go back to school, the Ivy Leagues were very frightening to me. To be honest, it was frightening because it's like I don't come from that.
Yeah.
I was I wasn't even an average student. I was a below average student coming out of undergrad. And then I did well in my MBA, but I just felt like school wasn't for me. So when I got into Penn, I was excited.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But a couple of weeks before classes actually started, I was like, yo, what am I doing? I'm about to go into these classes and I'm going to be exposed as an imposter. These are real thoughts that was going through my mind. I'm like, yo, I'm tripping.
Yeah.
And then the first week of school, when I had to write my first paper, I was like, oh no, this ain't for me. I'm about to email them and say,
Talking
hey
yourself
man,
out of it.
I appreciate the opportunity, but I'm done. I'm done because it was 5 papers in 1 week, and I'm like, yo, what is this? But I told Asha about it, man, and she just really spoke life into me and really helped me to see that, that this is for me, that I got accepted into the program because I was meant to be there, and that meant a lot. And then just giving me the time, because it takes me time. They say, yo, you need to set aside about 25 hours a week in order to complete the work, but I need more than 25.
Yeah.
I need a lot of time to do this work properly, and Asha don't complain about it. She hold down the fort and let me do what I need to do so that I can continue to grow and really understand the human mind and why we do the things that we do, so that when we come out with our online course, whether it's Patreon or whatever, that we really have that fire. Like this ain't just us just talking to just be talking, but this is us talking because we really understand what it takes in order to better yourself and to better your relationship. And I think that's so important to the fact that we're continuing our education, because I believe the moment you stop growing is the moment you start dying. Right? And the moment that we think that we're too smart, that we know everything, we're limiting our ability to really help you guys.
Okay.
And we understand that every relationship is not the same. So we can't just continue to come on here and only talk about what we've been through, because everybody doesn't go through what we went through, or everybody doesn't experience things the same way. Like, yes, we may go through the same things, but the way that we receive it, the way that we experience it individually is totally different.
Yeah.
So being able to go out there and get that information, not hurry up and Googling something before we do a podcast episode, or trying to read one book and then tell y'all everything that's in the book, but actually taking the time to learn so that we can give y'all the information that y'all need to create is super important to us. And that's why we over here stressing going through it. bro.
Yes, you guys. But like you said, and the long run is going to pay off. So I'm excited for everything. I know you guys have been asking for, the content, and I feel like y'all will have just as much excitement once it's put out there, because y'all going to know it came from a place of just like hard work and grind. And when you're able to see someone's grind and see their passion and follow their journey, it's like you're so much more invested in and trusting in them and their brand. And I think us just being able to share that with y'all and y'all to actually see it, y'all gonna know like this is the real deal. If y'all don't already know, y'all should, but this is the real deal, and we're taking this serious. And I'm just happy and excited for what's to come.
Yeah. So since we're talking about, making that shift going into the new year, not waiting to the new year to make that shift, but starting that shift right now, what do you think was so important in our relationship to help each other go on it? Because although, we have a collective goal for our relationship, these are individual journeys that me and you are going on. Like, you went through your own process in order to get certified as a life coach. I'm going through my own process of, getting my master's. So it's like we're doing it together, but we're also doing it alone. So what kind of things have been important in helping you along that journey that I may have attributed to or contributed to you in your growth? Because I know we talked about before how you didn't know what path you wanted to go on when you was thinking about going back to school or getting certified. But me and you had a lot of talks, a lot of serious talks. So what do you think helped you along that path or that journey, in case there's a couple out there who may be ambitious right now going into 2022 and they wondering, what is my partner going to say if I tell them my dreams or my aspirations for the new year?
I think the biggest thing that was helpful for me was you just being there to be supportive of what it was and to give me honest feedback. Sometimes it's hard for us to hear the honest truth, to accept it, but it's like you need that. You need that hard truth sometimes to be like, you know what? If you're doubting yourself or if you're talking yourself out of this, I'm gonna tell you otherwise, and I'm gonna give you the real, because you need to hear it. You need that push, and I think that was the biggest thing for me, because there was times, like you said, where it was just like I was questioning a lot of things. Like, is this right? I'm very much a person that has to be very meticulous before I make a move. So it's like, is this the right thing? Is everything in order for me to do this? And it's just like, you're the complete opposite, where it's just like, just go. I'm going to just jump in. I ain't putting my toe in. I'm going to jump in head first, And so I had to have you being that person to give me that push to be like, you know what, just do it. Just go for it. And I think if anyone else out there is listening to this and they feel that type of way, to just encourage that person that if they are thinking like, I want to do this, but they're kind of hesitate, speak life into them. Encourage them, give them support, and show them just, the positive things that will come from them doing something that they truly are passionate about. And even if they don't know, encourage them to just find out who they are, and life is so short, and I feel like it's so cliche, but it is so short. Like, nothing is promised to us in life. So in that moment of today, if you decide that you want to do something, go for it. If tomorrow you decide maybe it's not for me, at least you tried. You know, I just feel like you have to go for it. You have to push, and you have to try, and you have to work towards something if you truly, truly, truly want it. And to have someone there that supports you along that journey is so helpful, because in those moments where, you know, you do fall short or it does get hard because it's not easy, you're going to have someone to tell you, you know what, it's all right. I'm going to pick you up and we're going to keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're going to have those moments where you're going to feel like, is this the right decision? But continue to go hard, continue to go forward, continue to focus on your goal, and you'll get to where you want to get to. But just having that encouragement and that support, it truly helps along that journey.
Yeah, and I think that's the importance of really knowing your partner,
Yeah.
because you can help them in that sense. Because sometimes life get hard that you truly forget who you are.
Yeah.
And it can send you just down a path of confusion where you're just taking action, but it's not directed towards any goal.
Yeah.
Like you just trying anything out because you don't know what else to do with yourself. And sometimes it can be hard to admit to other people that, hey, I'm lost.
That's true.
Like straight up, I'm lost and I need help. And I think that when you're in a relationship and you're truly attuned with your partner, you will know when the GPS needs to recalibrate and get back on track. And that's the importance of sitting down and having those conversations.
Yeah.
Like, yo, this past 2 years have been crazy with COVID. People have lost their jobs. People are under so much stress. Where are you at right now?
Right.
Mentally, spiritually, physically? Where do you want to go? Like, is there certain dreams or aspirations that you probably have buried inside you because you don't think that people will believe that you can do it?
Yeah.
Let's talk about it, because although the world may think that you can't do it, I believe that you can do it. And as long as we ride it out together, that's all that matters. Like, there may be times where we're at our highs, but there may be times that we're at our lows. But as long as we're both committed to going on this journey together, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Like, if y'all have followed me over the past couple of years, y'all saw I done tried out everything. For real. I
done
retired from
transformed.
football. I started speaking, wrote a book. We started this podcast. We do content creation now, just promoting fatherhood, promoting family on Instagram. I didn't know nothing about this stuff. Like, I had dedicated my entire life to football. But chapters always end in life, and you have to be willing to turn the page.
Yeah.
And there were times where I just didn't know if I could turn that page because I just kept peeking back
Yeah.
on how I really wanted this chapter. Matter of fact, I didn't want this chapter to end. I wanted it to still be written, but God had already, it's time, it put a period on it. It's over.
Yeah.
It's over. It's time to move forward. So there was a point where I was just lost about what direction I wanted to go in, and you never spoke down on me. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy when you go from being in the NFL, you know what I mean, signing $1 million contracts, like being at the height, the highest height that you could possibly be in your profession, to now trying to start over. It's not just an adjustment that the player has to make. It's an adjustment that the whole family has to make.
Yeah.
And there wasn't like one time where you spoke down on me. It was like, yo, what are you doing? Get it together. It's like, yo, we're going to ride this out. We've been riding it out for 9 years. We're going to continue to ride it out because I trust in you. You'll figure this out. And there was moments where I was at my lowest and you spoke life in me. And I think that's so important when you're in a relationship, that if the world is crushing your partner's spirits, that you lift them up.
Yeah.
Somebody has to be in their ear lifting them up, even if you don't even think that what they're doing is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
When you see somebody at their lowest and they're trying, speak life into them, man.
Yeah. I think that's so crazy that you said, because it's like, to be completely honest, like I literally see, just from our history and things that we have been through the beauty and the struggle, right?
Oh, yeah.
And to be able to say, like what you saying, that, you know, I never said or anything to you or came at you in any type of way. It was because of me being able to see that beauty and that struggle and to see that transformation. Like, even from the beginning of knowing, like with Devin playing football, I knew that there was an expiration date, right? Regardless of if it was.
I didn't. That's the crazy thing. I didn't. I don't think players ever noticed that expiration date.
Yeah,
Bro.
but it's like, you may think that it's longer than what it is, but it's an expiration date for most things in life, right? If not all things, life, us in general, we have an expiration date. And so I knew that there was a time where that would no longer be what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, right? And so being able to say, I understood that it was hurtful at that moment in time because it happened before you may have wanted it to, but to see you be able to bounce back and to transform and just mold into all these different types of individual that you were, that you embody who you were, but to just let them come forth and just come out outside of this person who thought the only gift that they had to offer was being a football player. You know what I mean? To see that you had so many other talents, you had so many other gifts that the world could receive, and they were just flowing out of you once you were able to step outside of that uniform, to take off that helmet and say, you know what, this is who I am, the man Devin, and I'm going to show up in the world. And it doesn't matter if I'm this one day or this another day, y'all going to get every version of me. You know what I mean? And I think that's so beautiful because in life, even with people that's, older and they may have done something, a profession for so many years, and they just have this identity in who they were for the past decade or so, right? And 20 years, century, whatever, right? I feel not a century, but a couple decades.
Yeah.
Not a century. I don't know about that. But
Remember I told y'all that even if they doing it wrong, just speak life into them. I'm just like, yeah.
Not a century, y'all.
Go ahead, boo. You
but
got it.
The past couple
I'ma stick
decades,
by
right?
you.
I'm going to stick beside you.
You was tripping with that.
Not a century, y'all, but a couple decades that they doing the same thing. It's like you become that person, right? You feel like you can't be anything else and you feel lost. And so I think when someone's able to, remove themselves from that identity that they've been for so long, to say, you know what, I still have so much more to offer. No matter how old you are, no matter how many things you've been through, no matter how many careers you tried or whatever, you have all these gifts that you may offer. And it's not until you find that one that, you know what, I'm passionate about this, I'm going to go with this. And the blessings start to pour in, because I feel like it's like God saying, you know what, you have arrived. You got it, right? You came into that blessing and that person that you were meant to be. That I have put you here to be. And I think that's so beautiful, to be able to go the journey of life and just figure out who you are, so that when you do arrive, it's just like, okay, I see why I went through all of that.
Yeah. And to speak on the topic of being lost, because me and Asha have both been there before, right? Where we was lost. We didn't really understand where we were trying to go with our life and with our career. And I can tell y'all, for those who are going through that right now, like one of the things that really helped me make that transition is really sitting down and understanding my ultimate goal. Because if I'm being real with y'all, like I didn't grow up loving football. Like I love to play basketball. Football was my means to make it out the hood. Football was my means to help take care of my family. So when, in a sense, football was taken away from me because I had to go through so much as far as my injuries and Leah battling cancer, I didn't struggle with the fact that I didn't get to buy the big mansion that I wanted to buy. I didn't get to buy, 10 cars and all the other stuff, because I was never really into that. Like, that's just not me. What I struggle with the most is that I had goals for my city. There are things that I wanted to do. There were scholarship funds that I wanted to start to help the talented people who get overlooked in my city. I had dreams of being able to provide them resources in order to overcome that, to expose them to other avenues and different, aspects of the world. And when I had to walk away from football, I felt like that was taken away from me. Like, those are the conversations that I would have with Asha. That's what I struggle with. There were certain things that I wanted to do for my family that I could not do because I wasn't able to get that big contract because of the things that I was going through, right? So as I allowed myself to feel that hurt and the pain that comes with losing things, right? Because that grief is real, being able to to overcome what has happened to you and what has not happened for you is a very real process that we have to go through. But when I really sat down and I thought about it, the goals and aspirations I had to impact other people's lives, I can still do
Absolutely.
without football. Like, football was my vehicle, but it wasn't the destination that I was trying to get to. And now what I'm doing now, I'm hopeful that I will be able to do those things that I always wanted to do, but it took me to first process what I went through and then shift the narrative of my life.
Yeah.
Shift the narrative of my life story that say that, yo, that was just the chapter. The book wasn't over yet because I'm not dead.
Yeah.
I'm still alive. And I have a chance to really dictate how these next chapters go in my life. And that's, like I said earlier, I'm thankful for you because when I came up with the concept of how I wanted these chapters to go, you spoke life into it. In a sense, you started to help me write the next chapters of my life.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. I think a lot of people can just learn from that in a sense. It's just like if you see that person that you're with, struggling or trying to figure out life, trying to figure out what their next move is, just to be able to encourage them, right? Because we're all, regardless of where you're at now, we're going to go through a season in life, whether it's now or later. And so in those moments, to just show grace to those people, especially those people that's closest to you, that you love, to be able to say, you know what, I see
I'm
that
glad
you're
you
going
just
through
brought that
something,
up, that
right?
grace. Yeah.
I see that you're going through something. I see that you're in a season of change. Something is shifting. Things may not have seemed right. You're in a storm, but you are going to come out of that storm. And you're going to come out of that storm with me because I'm going to be there to support you. I'm going to hold that umbrella up and we're going to walk side by side and get through this storm. But just showing that encouragement to that person because it means so
Farnsworth.
much.
And his name Farnsworth. Did he do?
Whitney Farnsworth.
Yeah, I'm gonna be holding that thing up for you.
Absolutely. Like, you
Man.
have to be that for somebody, especially, like I said, if that's your partner, y'all love each other, you're married, you vow to be with this person, life is going to throw some things at you, okay?
Yeah.
It's going to throw some curveballs. You're going to get to a fork in the road. It's going to be a journey. And in that journey, you're going to be tested a lot in your relationship and as an individual. And it's just so important that when you see that one person may be weaker or one person may be, more confused or unsure about something, just to give them a sound mind and just a support system to be like, you know what, I'm here regardless. We're going to figure this out and I'm here to support you. I think that's so important. So I just really want people, like we were saying, just to go into this new year now. Go into that shift now. If you're going through something in your relationship, to create that change now. Don't wait for the new year for a new opportunity. If you want that new job, get it now. If you want that new body, you want to get better with your health, you want to fill yourself up, you want that
Put
new
that bag of
healing.
Doritos down while y'all watching this, y'all. Put that soda up.
Yes, if you want to start your healing process, whatever it is that new looks like for you, that you're just waiting for 2022 to come around. We're all done with 2021, more of the same with the pandemic and all of that. We don't know what 2022 holds for us.
Yeah.
We don't even know if we're going to make it to 2022. I feel like so many of us take life in the moment that we have right now for granted because we don't know if tomorrow's promised. So just create that new now.
Yeah. And I love that you brought up grace, giving your partner grace,
Yeah.
because we speak to a lot of people. We know there's a lot of relationships out there where y'all not at the point where you look at each other as one. You look at yourselves as individuals. So if one of y'all is going through a tough time and the other one may be up, your career's good, like you just feeling good, you looking good, you in shape and all this other stuff, some people put their partner down.
Yeah.
Like, yo, what are you doing? Like, get up. You never do anything. Like, you just sitting around doing this, that, and the third. But like Asha said, everybody has their storm and their life. And you want to make sure that you show up for your partner as they're going through the storm the same way you would want them to show up.
Yes.
Like, don't be naive. Don't think that you will always be up. There will be a time where you will be knocked down and you have to rebuild. And karma is real. So you want to make sure that you give the support to your partner that you will need. Because sometimes we may look at situations and be like, yo, if that happened to me, if I got fired from my job, if I got laid off, I just would have bounced back. I would have went and got another one. Like I would have did this, that, and the third. But you're not that person. As I said, the same things may happen to us, but the way that we experience them are different.
Yeah.
Because we're all built different. We all have different levels or capacities or levels to endure the struggle. Right? So you got to make sure that you're there to support people, because when you're in your time of need, you're going to need that support.
Yeah.
That's why I respected you so much, because it was like I was at my lowest of lows. Never once have you ever talked down on me.
Yeah.
So it's like whenever you at your low, I'm there. Like it's what we gotta go through, not what we gotta go through. Because that's just how it's supposed to be when you're in a relationship, man. You don't step on somebody when they down. You stick your hand down. Matter of fact, before you even stick your hand down, lay down with them.
Yeah.
Because everybody don't need to get up right away. Sometimes people gotta lay down there on the canvas after life knocks them out, just so they can process what just happened to them.
Yeah.
So sometimes laying down with them and comfort them and letting them know, like, I see you. I'm eye to eye with you. I'm down here with you. But we going to get up together.
Yeah.
Like sometimes that's necessary. Like I think too many times we want people to bounce back, because we live in a world, especially in American culture, where we love the comeback story. We love when people can go from trial to triumph, or tragedy to triumph right off the bat. But that's not how life really works. Sometimes people be down for a little minute, but they'll bounce back as long as you continue to speak life into them and you let them know that you see them.
Yeah. I don't know if it was a movie or a show that I had seen, but you just saying that where it's like, instead of you putting your hand out, just lay down with them, like the person was laying there and they were clearly going through something, and you could reach down and, lift them up and pick them up, but they laid beside them and just started talking. And I think that's so powerful, because it's like, sometimes we do just need to be still.
Yeah.
You don't know what moments and what thoughts that person is trying to process, and they may be working through something on their own, but you just being there to say, you know what, I'm going to lay next to you. And I don't even have to say nothing. They just
Not a
know that
word.
you're support and you're there with them. It could be so powerful. So I think we just have to just create those moments and understanding, especially in a relationship, that, you know what, I'm going to be there for this person, right? And even with our situation, if I see, like he was saying, if something is going on or he's not in the moment, to use that moment to pray. I don't have to necessarily pray with you in that moment if you're not in a space to pray, but I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to pray over you, because I know that God is in control of every situation in our life. And so just using those moments as ways for you to just create that shift, to have that better understanding, to allow the abundance of God's blessings to pour into your life, and you just do what you need to do in those moments and allow for everything else to work out. And so I just think just having that mindset to just try to change the narrative, change the story, change the direction of what your life has been going in. It has to start at some point. You have to say, you know what, I want to create this change. I want my relationship to be better. I want myself to be better. Even for me, we talking about creating a change, but it was a point in time over this past year where not even this past year, this past 2 years or several years, we have been dealing with a lot, but I have been dealing with a lot personally, from finding out information about in my life that has, happened to me, from having the miscarriage and, us trying to conceive again. It's just so much things that have been a combination of things that have been building up for me to say, you know what, I need to change, right? And it was a change that we had spoke about for a long time, a change that I put off with procrastinating, to just get that healing journey
What change
for
you
myself.
talking about, babe? We ain't got to go into details, but just, I think that's important there's a big step that you have taken recently, right? And we don't have to go into detail, but I think it's important to, give people little bits and pieces of the steps that we're actually taking, because in our community, how this is looked upon.
Yeah.
So briefly, what step are you talking about that you just said that you took, that you was putting off?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Well, I'm not the one to say, I'm hesitant or afraid to talk about it, because we talk about it all the time. But we have gone to counseling and therapy before as a couple, but I just felt like I needed to go to counseling therapy for myself as an individual. It's something that I had wanted to do for quite some time.
Oh, let me clap it up for that real quick. My bad.
Yes, clap it up, clap it up. It's something that I had wanted to do for quite some time because, like I said, we had sessions before. When I was younger, I had gone and talked to counselors, but I never really took it serious. Right? It was something that I didn't really put my all into it and be like, you know what, I really want to change and get this healing process. A lot of things I took when I was going on my healing process before and trying to change, I took it into my own hands, right? So I thought that I had so much control over things myself where I was trying to create a shift in my life, and it may have changed things in that moment, but I knew that the underlying issues and the things that were really affecting me, I wasn't getting down to the source, the root of things for me to create that change that I needed and that was necessary. And so after, just taking this time to say, and we had a conversation, and I also, I feel like that applied to our hiatus as well, because I had a conversation with Devin, and I was just like, we're doing so much work to help other individuals out, right? We see the work that we're putting in to help other people, help other relationships. I need that work for myself, right? I need to get that healing for myself, because it's like, although I'm doing things in life and I'm thriving in certain areas, it's areas where I know that I'm not at my full potential. It's areas that I know that are hindering me or blocking me from reaching that blessing because I'm not working through those underlying issues. And so after having that conversation, I was just like, I can no longer procrastinate, because it's not only affecting me, it's going to affect my husband, it's going to affect my children, it's going to affect my family, it's going to affect everyone around me, because I'm not being the best version of myself, and I'm limiting myself to only thinking that I'm in control of so much, right? And so I started going to counseling, and I feel like it's been very helpful. Very helpful for me, and it's been eye-opening, because like I said, I've been able to work through things that I may have thought I had control of, or I may have thought that was, I was healed from, or it wasn't necessarily an issue, but it was only because I suppressed a lot of things and tried to, outwork them or overlook the issues that I had and just pack them all down. But being able to, really talk about that and get those things out and to work on this healing journey for myself as Asha, is very important. So I think that was one of the things which we were talking about with creating that change. Is like, I'm not going to wait for another day to come. I'm not going to wait for another year to come. I'm going to create that change now.
Yeah. And I think that was so inspiring, because it's like we both on a journey. You took an individual journey to go through therapy, but it's like, for me, I went into this program at Penn with the idea that I was going to learn so much information to change other people's lives, that it has changed my life.
Yeah.
In the process. Like, it's been my own therapy journey, just being able to really understand myself and why I do the things that I do and how I can overcome, behavior that is holding me back. Because I think so many times in life we try to use willpower, like you said, just fix yourself.
Yeah.
We think that we can be our own healers, but sometimes we need help. We can't always fix our problems or change our life through willpower. We have to learn how to change our behavior so that we can create the habits that in turn create the life that we want for ourselves.
Yes.
And I've been seeing that happen to me, because to be real with y'all, like, a lot of my life is great. Like, a lot of it's great, but there would be times where, I don't know, like, I would just feel something mentally.
Yeah.
And I couldn't quite put my finger on it. I didn't know why negative thoughts would just come to my mind out of nowhere when things were good in my life. And I had learned, because a lot of times I was suppressing, like Asha just talked about, and try to deal with it on my own and act like everything was good. But it was like I came to a point where I just started coming to Asha like, yo, it's happening again.
Yeah.
Like, mentally, I ain't okay. Like, so I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me. But I can tell y'all, it's been a long time since that has happened to me because I was, number one, willing to speak up about what I was going through. Number two, I was willing to put in the work. I took action in order to increase my mental well-being. I took action in order to increase my physical well-being. So it's just like, it's one thing to actually talk about it, and it's another thing to actually take the action. And when you're in a relationship, you got to make sure you have those positive relationships or that support to help you along your journey, because changing your life, it's not easy.
No.
It's not easy. A lot of times you get pulled back. And to have somebody whisper in your ear or just tell you, yo, just continue pushing yourself. Like, we all fall down sometimes. That don't make me stop believing in you. I still believe in you. Keep pushing yourself, and I'll be here.
Yeah.
Man, I can't even tell you how much that means.
Yeah. I think it's major to have that type of encouragement. And unfortunately, we know that a lot of times, a lot of people don't have that, you know? And so it's about not only if you don't have that, but creating that for yourself as well. Just creating that shift and going to God, you know, going to him and being able to understand that he can and will be that encouragement for you. He will be that shift for you, but you have to seek it. If you don't have that person there in a relationship or something like that to give you that encouragement, to give you that push, you can have it in other ways. You just have to seek it. And I think that's so important for so many of us to have, because it's like you want to create that change. You want to create that shift. You want to go on a journey, a positive change in your life, but you just don't have the support around you. You have to create that environment. And I think, like you were saying, just putting yourself around positive relationships and just learning.
Not even romantic relationships, any type of relationship.
Having those positive relationships around you, having that shift in environment, letting go of the things that aren't serving you any longer, you know, cutting off those loose ends. It's like, let's clean up all of that, right? If we cleaning up in a house and you just doing like the surface level stuff, it's still dirt lingering around, you ain't cleaning.
Man.
You just trying to make it nice right now in
Put
case
your
somebody
clothes
come
under
over.
the bed like Leah or wherever Arya be putting stuff just to make it look nice.
You
Like,
not cleaning. We gotta do that deep cleaning, that deep soul searching, that change to create that shift, because we want that new. We want to have a new version of ourselves. We don't want to go into the year looking for that new. We want to start that new now. So it's time to impact all that baggage. It's time to cut, like I said, all those loose ends off. Those relationships, those things that are no longer serving us, let go of them so that we can make room for all the positive things that's going to be poured into our life. But you have to go ahead and start that change now. And I think it's so important and big of us that we're doing that, because I see the shift that it has like created in us as individuals, right? And sometimes when you're in a relationship, you kind of lose sight that you are still an individual, right? And it takes for you to still do the work individually to contribute to your relationship.
Right.
And so I think that's so important that we're doing. And I just want to make sure that I stress it enough to everyone out there to just be that for yourself. If you aren't, be that for your partner. If you are in a relationship, and just help them move forward to create that new mindset to go into this new year of 2022. I know we talking about it a little bit early, but like I said, it's never too early to start working on a better version of yourself, a new version of yourself, to create that change, because you're going to be ahead of the game.
You already waited long enough. What you going
Absolutely.
to keep waiting for? How many times you going to keep saying tomorrow? How many times you going to keep saying next month? How many times you going to keep saying next year? Like, it's about to be 2022. You said to yourself in 2017, I was going to do this.
Okay.
5 years. It's about to come up.
And time
And
flies.
things probably haven't changed.
Yeah.
So it's time for you to really, when you say it, to actually commit to it. Because I'm telling you, I'm excited about what is to come. I'm excited about even hopping on this microphone and doing this podcast again. Like, honestly, I really feel good inside.
Yeah.
Because I know the impact that we're about to have. Like, once me and Asha finish, like, once I finish my school, like, yo, when I tell y'all this online university that we're going to create, this Patreon, the amount of information that we're going to give y'all, not to just change, to help y'all relationship, but just creating a community of people who just want to be great, but are just looking for the tools in order to be great. I can't wait for when we tell y'all it is official.
Yes.
I don't know what the name going to be yet, but I know it's going to be fire.
Yes. So I feel like this has been, it was a shift, you guys, because we came in thinking we were talking about one thing. We might have to throw that in as a bonus episode somewhere down the line. But I think it was very necessary for us to create this shift because, like you said, just going in it with a new, positive, fresh, y'all. We came back. We just want to get y'all up to date on why we've been going so long, but it hasn't been in vain. Like, we've been putting in this work, putting in this grind. And I have to leave y'all with this because this has been on me all day. I didn't even talk to my husband about
So
it.
somebody else
I
been
woke
on
up. You know what?
I need you to clarify. What
No,
has been on
I'm-
you besides
I can't.
me?
But I'm just
And
saying,
Arya
I
on
woke
your
up
titties.
today, right? You know what? I can't with him, you guys. But I woke up today, you guys. We try to create a routine, right? We try to create a routine, create a schedule. Still a struggle. We try and work on that. But, you know, Devin has been on his fitness journey. I try to get in where I fit in because, you know, I ain't heavy like him, but I try to do what I can.
Whoa. We need to clarify that too. What do you mean by heavy? Like you ain't putting in the work or you ain't as fat as like what are we talking
Oh
about?
my. Okay.
Whoa.
I'm not heavy in the gym like
Oh, all right. You need to clarify some things. That's
yo,
crazy.
I
I'm
can't.
like,
I cannot. Okay.
I cannot,
Stop,
bro.
because you making me laugh too much, okay? But no. So I woke up this morning, got on the Peloton, you guys. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. Ari woke up. Usually I can get it done before she wakes up if I go right out there. But she woke up and I was like, I'm not going to get discouraged. I'm going to let Devin take care of her this morning. I'm going to get this ride. And I got on this 30-minute ride. I think it was like the Beyonce ride or whatever, something. And I was like going. It was, y'all, 30 minutes. I have not done 30 minutes. I've been like on like 15, 20 minutes,
real
right?
on that Peloton.
So I did a 30-minute ride and it was like kind of intense, but I got to the end, right? And this is this song always give me like encouragement. I don't know. It's just something about it. But it was the Freedom song. And like at the end it was just like no,
Break
at
the
the end
chains,
it's just
baby.
like I'm gonna keep running because a winner don't quit on themselves. And like every time I hear that part of the song, it's just like it makes you go harder, right? And I just want y'all to have that because like it's been on me all day to just do the most that I can. Do not quit on yourself. If you're a winner and you are a winner, keep going. Like you don't quit on yourself. You can't give up on yourself. You can't give up on your relationship. You can't give up on your goals, your dreams. Like we are here now in the moment. You can only take advantage of this moment. Another moment is not promised. You're here right now in this moment. So you got to take advantage of it and you can't quit on yourself. Like when I hear them words, it just makes me go so much harder, you guys. It's
it make her ride hard. So I'm adding
Yes.
Freedom to my sex playlist so that
we're going to edit that out. We're probably
I'm
not
not.
because he's crazy, but mom and dad,
let's go
don't listen to
Beyonce.
this. I don't want our
I'm adding
parents
that
to
to
listen
the
to this.
playlist. That thing made you ride hard. Let's go. Thank you for that information.
You guys, I was trying to give y'all some encouragement in life, and he always got to take it there.
I
But you know
apologize.
what?
We grown. I'm
y'all
married.
get it. Y'all
I'm
got
married.
it. If y'all want to use it in that sense, y'all go ahead and do
Fellas,
what y'all want with it.
turn on
But you a
Freedom in the
winner.
bedroom.
Don't quit on yourselves. Y'all keep going. And until next time, you guys, keep it real.
Yes, sir.